Who is that? Hey, Lisa. How are you, dear? I'll put my glasses on. And Dwayne and Willow, I'm back. I am back. I found out today what kind of an infection I had. It first started out as staph, and then the next time hey Christy, and the next time it turned, I'm feeling all right. I went and had that. I thought I was going to get all this stuff off my arm, but now I still have to wear this and this contraption I have to put on at night when I go to bed. But I had that MRSA thing, and that's why I don't know how I got it. It just popped up. But it started out a staph infection and then it turned into MRSA. And I'm still on antibiotics. But I'm, I can't do nothing. I can do that now. I still can't do that, and I still have to go back for therapy. And there's another therapist that comes in twice a week. I don't go back to the surgery center until the first, I believe it is. Is this June? Yes, it is. 1st of July. Uh, but it's driving me crazy. I, I can type now with two hands. So MRSA is a form of staph. Well, I don't know. They mentioned staph this morning and MRSA. And I remember when my wife had that, it was pretty nasty. But they took the stitches out, and there's not really no pain involved unless I try to move that digital finger. But it sure got me messed up. My daughter went to last Wednesday. She went to uh, uh, a food bank that's close by here. They gave her a 5-gallon bucket of sliced dill pickles. A 5-gallon bucket. Never been opened. They gave her a whole box of bananas that had never been opened. And some other stuff that I don't know. I don't know why they do. Why that's commercial. Oh, pain in my leg. And uh, they gave her one, two, three, four, five. They gave her 8 half gallons of something that's called almond silk. I think that's kind of on the expensive side. I never had any of that. I never drank any of it, and it tastes good. And I've been drinking about a quart of that a day. I don't know if it's bad for me or not, but I'm gonna tell you what's true. Things is getting really, really tough. Because we've been without internet for the last 3 or 4 days because we had up, what was going to Gainesville and back and all that stuff and everything. It was just the hurt. Oh my, I love almond silk. It tastes good. It's kind of like milk, but it's not milk, I guess. Almond silk is basically almond milk. It's good for you. Well, I got about 4 more half gallons in. But she got it last Wednesday. Matter of fact, I think she's going back over there tomorrow too. They they give us some weird stuff in the past, but I, I'm just I'm just amazed at what the cost of everything that's gone up, uh, and the gas especially. Her gas budget now has officially doubled in what she's been used to paying for gas, and we have a pretty good low, not a low mileage car, but a economical car, but it's not that economical. But so I'm not out of the woods yet. They're watching this thing like a hawk, and that woman at that where I went today for the at Sands, I couldn't hear everything that good. My hearing aid has been acting up, and she said something about another clean out, and that scared the crap out of me because if they do a clean out, that means they're going to do another surgery on it, and I just can't stand the thoughts of that. Um, it's But she said that's not what she said. She was just talking about they didn't want to have to do that again. So my daughter and my grand Donovan was in there with me. Uh, I'm kind of still in the hospital mode. For 2 weeks, everything was 490 today. He paid for gas. Uh, I swear I don't see how people. I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to the older back in the day stuff, but my gosh, almost $5. Well, some places it is $5 a gallon. Uh, eggs, eggs here has tripled in price. It seems like all the things. Hey, Barbara. Uh, so I and that other video, that last little video I put up. I I don't know. My wife always said you had to hit me over a 2x4 just to get my attention. Am I am I doing? There was a couple of ladies left some comments. I always like comments, but They left. Y'all can go look at it. Uh, Made me feel kind of bad. Was I being like they were saying? I picked up some stuff here. Let me show you one. Oh dang! I picked up the other day when I was out making that video. I stopped by this store that's just recently opened, and they say the name of it is a food bank, but then it says down below that no food but everything else. Well, I, as I was going back down that road at their back door, they had a bunch of stuff sitting. Well, it was 4 or 5 cases. Some of them were open, some of them were unopened. And they always set stuff out there, if it's something that people might want. And I don't know why they did set these out, but it's this here. It's a toothbrush and toothpaste, dental floss. It says orthodontic kit. Half the box is of these, of this here, and then the other half is the same thing, but it's got a tube of toothpaste in it. This one doesn't. But the lady, she almost accused me of stealing. She said, "That's not a dumpster." Well, I happen to know they set stuff out there. I only got the one case, and there's 48 in that case. And somebody else got all the rest. Because when my daughter seen what I had there, she first started frowning when I said, "Hey Maggie," but she first frowned and then she seen what it was and she said, "Was there any more?" And I said, "Yeah, there was 4 or 5 more boxes." And she immediately jumped in the car and drove over there. She was going to get the rest. She said, "You can sell those easy." But she run over to get them, and somebody was there right then getting the rest of them, so she didn't get them. And she was fussing at me because I didn't get them all. I said, "Well, to start with, I had that splint on, and I could only get one box on my scooter." Let's see, school is doing good. Graduating spring 23. Had my surgery last month to remove cancer. Recovering now. That's great. That's great, Maggie. Yes, it is. Uh, but those two comments they left, and then the one lady said that I was being rude, and just because I'm old, don't give me special privileges about going in people's yards. I don't go in people's. I may go up the driveway, and if I and I for in that video I had went in this person's yard, but it's this person that I know, this person that gave me all the 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 buckets, a while back. And I always go over there when I'm down that street. I'll go over and check out his plants and stuff. You can see him in that video. He's doing great with them. But those two ladies, they made me feel like crap talking about Special privileges. I wished I had special privileges. But they made me feel bad. Maybe I do intrude on the people's homes. I don't go in their homes or nothing. I might go up there and spend. Most of them I even have permission to take cuttings. Uh, but I I don't know. I don't know how to take them. I tried to explain to them. You leaving, Dwayne? Oh, but I've got. I, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose some plants if I don't figure out some way to. I can do little bit more now with it, but now when I go to bed, I have to put that splint on. And I never knew stitches to hurt when they take stitches out after you've been surgery or something. But boy, I'm gonna tell you what, they that didn't none of them hurt but one, and boy, that last one, it's in a pain. Well, I'm just afraid that maybe I am doing something that's intrusive. She said it was intrusive and rude. And if I come up in her yard, she would give me what for and then some. So I don't know. I didn't get. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate the video, the comments they made, but it makes me have to stop and think, am I like that or not? I don't know. Uh, can't get my camera set right there. Uh, but I've got a ton of stuff that has to be thrown in the composter. I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. Uh, and they want this bandage changed once a day, and I really don't see the need for that. But that MRSA scares me, because I remember when my wife had it going, it took them forever to get her. They had to put a PICC line in on her. That's something they go down and it goes to the heart or something, and it's very painful when they do it. And if it had told me MRSA while I was in the hospital, I'd have been scared to death. I'd be afraid I was going to have to get a PICC line or something. But it's nice to be home, but I hate having, and I hate having to have my daughter. Well, fortunately, she didn't have to put my drawers on. I could get my drawers on, but my pants and everything and my shirt, it's hard. I can't be dragging stuff over this hand the way I would do it, and she does it. Uh, I just don't know how long this is going to take, and they don't want me using the walker, which I'm not. I'm scooting around, and they tell me to just scoot around in the wheelchair and not walk. Use his hand on that walker. So I kind of feel like I'm fixing to Recovering MRSA patients should be following aftercare rules to a T. I know that, but it's so hard. Because when I went up there this morning to that surgical center thing there, the lady that was taking the splint and everything off, she said, "How did you get that so dirty?" I picked up a plant out there and moved it, and it had dirt all over the bottom and everything. And that's how I got it dirty. I tried to clean it. Whether I like it or not. Well, I sure don't like it. But I'm gonna, I'm doing a video tomorrow. I won't put one up. Well, this will go up tonight, but uh, I'm gonna do a video, and I'm gonna show you the pit. My daughter took some pictures. Tanya's world. Well, how are you, dear? All the way down under there at Australia. I hadn't seen you in a while, and I miss talking to you. I'd like to do another live stream with you one day. Sure would. And by the way, Christy, if it's all right, I'm gonna send y'all a invite for a private chat uh, uh, Saturday or Sunday, whichever's best for y'all, around 7 p.m. Yeah, I may be doing a lot more uh, a lot more live streams than I've been doing since I can't do anything. That just tears me up. Tears me up. Had a dream last night about this little lady. Uh, and I don't know why I dreamed about her, because I hadn't. It's been many years since I've seen her. I think I've talked to her on Facebook 3 or 4 years ago, but it was a little gal I fell in love with back in 1955. Her name was Pat. I might have talked about her before. That's the lady, that's the girl we spent 2 weeks together on the farm at my uncle's and aunt's, me and her and 3 of my other cousins. And I kind of liked her. And at the end of the 2 weeks, they was taking everybody back to where their houses and stuff. And they was, and me and the girl was sitting in the back seat of my Aunt Mamie's car, and we was smitten. But we had never kissed or anything like that. And I always uh, tell my other cousin and stuff. I said she took my breath away. we we kissed. All of a sudden, I couldn't breathe. I started hyperventilating. Oh, and her name was Pat. She don't like to talk about that. I said, why? She said, well, I don't. what's his name? Her husband. Uh, Gosh, I can't. I said I don't want to talk about that. I'm married. But I was the first boy she ever kissed, so I had her a little while there before her husband did. Took my breath away. But I don't know why I dreamed about her. I would like to. I don't know how to get hold of her anymore. I don't know how she's doing. I know she's diabetic, and she had 5 children, and one of her daughters is a spitting image of her when Pat was her age. Uh, Tanya, I'm so glad. Oh wow, man! And Maggie, I want to talk to you again too, dear. Seems like I'm gonna have some time to do that stuff right before that. They asked me to give them a number 1 through 10, 1 being the least and 10 being the most on pain. And when they ask me that, I'm not feeling any pain. But then during our conversation and stuff, I'll start. Thank you so much, Christy. I appreciate that. Um, and then all of a sudden I'll get a shooting pain and I'll go, ow, ow. And she said, I thought you said you didn't have no. I said, well, I didn't, and now I do. And she said, is it gone or still there? And I said, no, it's gone. And she called it some kind of pain or something, but I can't remember what it was. But boy, I wish we could go dumpster diving for food, like the health nuts and crazy families doing. Uh, and my daughter, she's still kind of skeptical about what Marty and Alan finds in them dumpsters in the line of foods. She's still skeptical about it. I tried to show her something the other day uh, where they was pulling out. It was one of their older videos, and they was pulling out like that, uh, I don't remember how many gallons of milk it was. And I said, do you think they're going to go buy all of that milk and then put it in the dumpster and act like they found it there? I said, it wouldn't be worth it. They'd be losing money. But I think she don't say so much about it anymore. But uh, I think she's still kind of skeptical of it. I wish fans and Wenders, hubby, grumpy last 2 days. Fans and Wenders. Oh. Knee pain, knee pain. Oh, that's just started here recently. Fans and Wenders. Thank you, Tanya. Does that mean Poppy, we are still eating eggs from the egg haul? We froze them and we froze all that milk. I haven't bought either for months. Yeah, I remember him finding that. I found bread in an Aldi dumpster, nothing wrong with it. Um, that's something else that food bank uh, gives my daughter when she goes over. She's going over there in the morning, and uh, that there was a lot of bread, and I love rye bread, and there was 2 loaves of that rye bread thin slice. That's what I like, and then some other stuff, that multi-grain stuff and everything. I like eating that stuff. Heat wave coming. Uh, it's the temperatures are not too bad outside. It's warm, and of course my daughter keeps it pretty cool in here. Uh, I don't know. She needs to really slack off that air conditioner so much. Her light bill this time was $440. Can you imagine that? $440. Good Lord. And everybody's in the habit, I'm not. I turn lights off. And if I get up in the middle of the night, uh, and I go to the kitchen, the first thing I do when I get up and get in the hall is reach in the bathroom, turn that light off, go down to the laundry room, turn that light off, and get into the living room and kitchen. And when I come back out, I turn those lights off, all except the one in the very back of the kitchen. Um, Dumpster diving with T&D. Are they new? Who is dumpster diving with T&D? That don't sound familiar to me, but welcome. Don't sound. I don't believe I've seen that before. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Let's see who that is. I gripe at $104 electric once a month. $104? Wow, how do you do that? This time ours is $440. We don't have a water bill. Our water bill. We had a water bill at that other place we lived at, and that was over $100 a month. And here we're on well, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure. I know. I'm not sure where the well's at here, but it's out back there somewhere. And 104 electric once a month, water bill 256. Good gosh, that's a bunch. What did you do, T&D, after all these years? They won't just give me a weather forecast. But yeah, I'm worried about my plants. I can do a little bit of stuff. Her last gas bill was $511 for the winter. Oh, y'all do have to. If you heat by that stuff, I guess you have to. We don't. I don't know if we've had. I don't think we've had the heat turned on in this house Maybe I can remember one day we had it on, but we've not had we don't have a winter bill, you know, for heating to speak of. $511. Now I remember living in North Carolina when we was living up in Nantahala. Uh, we used wood, and I actually got up there and got up on the mountain cutting wood off of government land that you had to get a permit. Cut wood, then you have to saw it up, split it, and all that stuff. Uh, and we just found out somebody somebody went in the house up there in the mountains where I don't know what's going to happen with that place. These dadgone in-law kids, they're cutting off their nose to spite their dang face. And it's going to be such a tangled up mess when they finally do decide to do something with it. Uh, if I could afford it, I would go up there with the money, and it's either put up or shut up, and force a sale on it, and then buy it. You can do that. You have to get a lawyer and all that stuff, and force it to be sold. Poppy, that new name is Tanya. She has a dumpster diving. Okay, T and D. Okay, dear. Yeah, we need to talk one day, Tanya. Oh my goodness. Oh, she has a diving channel. Gosh, I wished I could get out there and dive. That gum makes me. I don't. You know, I'm gonna have help with that bandage. And look at my skin, folks. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit. Maybe you can see that. Look right. Oh well, wait a minute. Right there. The skin up under there is peeling and all up under here. And but I can move these fingers pretty good. I can't move this digital finger, and it's still a little bit numb. And that thing, I just when my daughter was changing my shirt today, let me see if I can get that up there. Can y'all see that spot on my arm? I'm thinking that's maybe where they give me that block or something, you know, when they did that surgery. And I still ain't got over how weird that was, you know, once that arm had no feeling that I could had no feeling I couldn't move it. It was just like something hanging off my body. And I suspect that's kind of how somebody that's paralyzed feels when they try to move a leg or something or move an arm. Uh, that was a learning. I don't know if I'm learning something, but it was just a new experience for me. Plus, I was totally awake while they were doing that last surgery. I could feel it. What didn't hurt or anything. I could feel them doing stuff and everything, but I didn't know my arm was dead. but that was really weird. Uh, and sometimes I look out in the morning or out on a daytime dial. It has me nervous. TJ says it may be give out from sweat. Need to keep the bandage dry. Yeah. Well, I have to change this once a day. They sent supplies and everything. I'm having trouble getting the VA and Shands Hospital together. I don't know what to do about that because that they called today while we was on the way to the hospital to the clinic. And all that and by the way, when my daughter first took me to the hospital here in Ocala, I was only there like 12 or 13 hours. And guess what that cost at that hospital? $23,000 and then some. And it wasn't even there a day. And I don't have a clue what the bill's going to be on this stuff at Shands. Now, Shands is University of Florida's uh, hospital. You know, they, but they are, it's huge. It's a real big place. And they're spread out too. Like the clinic that I had to go to today, that's part of Shands, but it was down the road. And that's where they did the outpatient surgery, that second go round, where they did numb my arm or something. But who? Oh, Patty. Hey, Patty. Same to you, Patty. Good. Well, I can't see you, but I can see what you're writing. I want to dry and dumpster diving around here, but it is against the law. Really? Really? I didn't. Well, I guess some places might have an ordinance against it. I'm trying to read. I don't want to miss nothing. I hadn't seen. Oh boy, I'm having a senior moment. Whoa. Big B and the rest of it. I can't remember it all now. My mind. I think my mind's pretty sharp, but my memory not so much. And I had two. What do they call these guys? PCAs, patient care attendants. One of them's name was John. One of them's name was crap. John and Austin. Austin was a golfer, and John, I don't know what he did on his off time, but he was a Filipino, and they took care of me. They give me baths and all this stuff, and uh, I enjoyed those two guys so much. They, but that they were wonderful. They were wonderful, and the nurses, my gosh, my hat is off to all those people that just they just made me so comfortable and relaxed. And I don't know. Did I tell y'all about one? I wouldn't take my hearing aids out unless I had to. And one night I was going to sleep, and I took this hearing aid out on the on my left side and laid it over on the table in that little tray. And you know how when you lay them close to something, they'll start singing. Savannah, Savannah, this is the red nurse. She was 21, and she's an RN. And she come running in that room one night, turned the light on, said, Russell, no, yeah, she called me Russell. Said, it's driving me nuts. Your hearing aid is singing. And I said, no, it's not, and it wasn't here in my ear, but the one in the tray, it was singing, and I couldn't hear it. But they heard it all the way out there in the hall. And that must have been about 3 o'clock in the morning. She's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. I just love her to death. And and she was actually, they had a bunch of student nurses come in there one day. They was around all day. And some of these nurses was like 28 and 30 years old, the students. And what a couple of them were teachers and decided they want to be a nurse instead of teaching. And here was Savannah giving these ladies instruction, showing them the ropes and everything, and she's 21, and they're like almost 8 and 9 years older than her. But and my Donovan, uh, you know, I hate it when somebody like Donovan was hired at Walmart and they were aware that he had cerebral palsy and had different kinds of problems dealing with stuff, and they considered all that. But every once in a while, a new manager will come in there and start getting on him about the way he was doing stuff and everything. And of course, my daughter found out about it. And she called them out on it, and they said, "Well, we didn't know that." Well, to me, if you got a special needs employee, you bet anybody in charge of anything should know that, should be made aware of that. And I had a first-hand experience in the Boy Scouts. Donovan was the senior patrol leader, and Donovan's handwriting, it looks like chicken scratch. And he brought a report in there to give to the secretary. And that secretary jumped up, got all over him. He said, "What is this? What is it? It looks like chicken scratch. Take it back and do it over." And I was sitting there. And boy, I jumped in his stuff. He said, "Well, I didn't know." Well, I feel like it's every leader in that troop to know if you've got somebody with special problems, special needs, or something. I mean, it just makes plain sense. And just like when they terminated me at Walmart because I couldn't hear the pages when a page went out for me. I could hear the noise, but see, they were supposed to furnish me with the radio, a two-way deal that hung on my hip, and I could hear that. But the stuff coming over the intercom, uh, I could hear it, but I couldn't understand it. And I should have just went ahead and went straight to the dang lawyer with it because uh, you don't you don't mess with somebody that has a disability and you hire them in there like that. You start fooling around with that, you're treading on thin ice. I should have went. I got a special place in her heart. Gee, thank you so much, Tanya. You got a raise, and they said they will pay me to get certified as an addictions counselor, CADC certification. It's really awesome. Yes, it is. Congratulations, Christy. Um, I always have to go back. I wish one of my hospital people would jump in here. I want one of their T-shirts. I want one of their T-shirts. Nobody told me where I could get. I guess I could buy one at the hospital, but I don't expect I'll be going in the hospital. But I guess I'm so damn fortunate. And I tend to salty assassins. Hey, Junk Dauber, I'm happy to see you around. A huge hello from Minnesota. Howdy, right back to you, Salty. I I would be up that dang creek if I didn't have my daughter and my three grandsons. Oh, I come down with COVID. I beat it, but I'm still got long term COVID things going on. Uh, I've come down with this. Looks like I'm going to beat it. Uh, I had a toe amputation. I beat that. I've been very fortunate. I don't have two nickels to rub together. Well, I got $4.99 that Christy left me. So I guess I got a few nickels to rub together. But see, I didn't get any of my money from the first of this month because I was in the hospital I, and Jennifer going back and forth to visit me and stuff in Gainesville. That was extra, so I just told her to use it wherever she wanted to. And I might have some in there. I don't know. I need to get Donovan to check that for me. I wished I had one of them real smart phones that I and knew how to operate that thing. But I say I've had more pictures taken of my hand. I mean, by the different doctors and nurses in there and stuff, and they when they take the bandage off, they take pictures of it. And matter of fact, that's when I found out how it was. Hey, Isabel, how you doing, dear? Big hugs right back to you. But I lost my train lost my train of thought. Uh, they offered to give me a close shave while I was in the hospital, but I declined. I declined. I hated calling on them guys so much, and everything, and And I was an ice fanatic while I was in there. I wanted fresh ice all the time. I'd eat it, and they'd bring it to me. And sometimes I'd want some applesauce or some apple juice or something in the evening, because they brought breakfast in at 9 a.m. They brought lunch in at around 12:30 to 1, and then they brought supper in at 6 o'clock. Then 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock on, there's no meals all the way around to the end of the morning at 9 o'clock again. And that's a long haul there, because you're getting 3 meals close together. That's the way I looked at it. CJ's in Virginia. Okay, somebody's throwing me a curve again. Who's 48? Who are you, 48? Is this another name change, or are you new here? I don't believe I've seen that before. But then again, the memory's not so hot anymore. Really. But anyhow, I've been yapping right at an hour, so maybe I ought to let it go. My daughter's fixing meatloaf in there tonight, and I can't wait to turn. She makes one kind of meatloaf, the regular like a loaf and stuff. Then she makes one that's in little small, like giant meatballs, and she's simmered in some kind of sauce, and it's delicious. No, he's not a name changer. Okay, I got you. But boy, I hope she's making them little meatball type thing. It's regular like meatloaf, but it's just different. It's different. The sauce is different and everything. But right now, the one thing I'm craving right now, and I won't have none until the first of the month, I want an original Kentucky Fried Chicken dinner. Don't want it extra crispy. I want the original. I was having dreams about that. They already brought one chicken in here last week from Publix, fried chicken. And I got this habit, when they bring the chicken in, I get the pieces I want, and then I sit there and I pick all the crust and skin off and eat it. And then I put the chicken back in the refrigerator to come back later and slice it up and put it like in a salad. And my daughter come in there and she got it. I was wondering, she said, "You didn't hear me fussing about somebody picking all the skin?" I said, "Well, that was my chicken." So I didn't get it all. But I've been cutting trees and brush on my land. I used to have land to cut trees and brush. Which reminds me, when when we were still living in North Carolina, we was heating with wood, and we had a fireplace and all that stuff. And we was up right beside a little mountain, and I went up high on the mountain, was cutting wood, dead wood, and I cut it in sections and let it roll down the mountain. It rode just about all the way down most of the time to right at the house. And one day, one day I cut some and I started rolling them down, and all of a sudden I just heard this big crash. that doggone log, it fell right on the top of the hood of my car. I mean, trashed it. That's been, gosh, how many years would that be? 40, about 45 years ago. And we heated with wood. There's Claire Jory. So that, okay, all right. I didn't well, I recognize the CJ. You've been here before, but I didn't realize it was Claire. Um, but yeah, trashed the hood of my car. I like never found another hood for that thing. It sure messed it up. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have right now the plan. The plan is definitely I'm gonna have a live stream on Sunday. Uh, I'm gonna make a video. Uh, I'm gonna make a video tomorrow. So let's see, tomorrow's Wednesday, so it'll come out Thursday morning. And I'm gonna try to come up with something. See, I still can't put my hearing aid in on this side because of this. So I put this one in, but my daughter has to help me with that one. But I I feel so bad that my daughter is having to do so much. You know, she's her and Donovan's the breadwinners. Uh, I don't know how much Donovan gives his mom. It must be substantial. Um, and they get paid every 2 weeks. They just got paid today. It goes automatically into their checking accounts. Hey, is that Scrapping Pallet Man? Oh, hey, Paul. How you doing, buddy? I'm kicking. Thank you, 48. How you been doing, Paul? Still, still, still having to wear some stuff on my arms, and I'll show you this. I don't believe you was there, and I got to wear this thing at night. They don't want me bending my finger or anything, that digital thing. Well, they want me to exercise it, but and I had it was and that infection I had, Paul, was MRSA. And I didn't know that till today. If I'd have knew that while I was in the hospital, I'd have been scared to death. Because I know when my wife had MRSA, they had to put a PICC line in on her, and that's my wife said that was very painful, very painful. Dang. Paul, how old is your son now? Yeah, my daughter would be pitiful if we didn't have air conditioning, and that's another shooting pain. Oh gosh. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut. I've been running. Oh, my daughter is 26, 17. She's 26. Wow, I didn't realize she was that old. 17. That's pretty good. That's 9 years difference. 9 years apart. My babies was 2 years apart. But anyway, folks, I've yapped long enough, and I've been talking over an hour, haven't I? So I'm gonna let that be it. I don't want to keep anybody from whatever. Graphing talent, man. You going to Jacksonville, Paul? Of course, there's two or three Jacksonvilles. All right, guys. I'm gonna read that last comment. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here and try to get some. That supper smelling good. uh, okay, I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Love you all, and thank you so much for being in here for me.